To look at how to canvas using Minivan. Now first we're going to look at before the canvas. You want to dress comfortably. T-shirts with appropriate affiliations are encouraged. You don't want to wear something like a beer t-shirt. Wear sneakers or something that is comfortable to walk in. If rain is predicted, bring an umbrella, and you may need to layer because as you go along you're going to get hotter and hotter. Bring water and snacks. Sometimes these are provided, but it's not always. Before the canvas, you want to download the Minivan app. I have a picture of it here. It's NGP Van. You can just look for something with that picture. If you have an Apple, go to the Apple Store. If you have an Android, go to Google Play and download it. And also make sure that you can log on to Minivan using your Action ID. If you don't have one, contact your canvas captain or somebody at the party who can assign you one. Now at the launch site, you're going to receive a clipboard with a script. It's going to have a map of the turf you've been assigned. You're going to have vote by mail request forms, probably in English and Spanish, and voter registration forms in both languages. You also may have candidate petitions and different things on there, but this is probably the minimum of what you'll have. Now you're going to have different scripts. This is just an example. You want to look over the script, which will be on your clipboard, and identify the main points so you can just shoot through them in your head. For instance, here our records show you've been dropped from vote by mail. Let's get you re-enrolled right now. Would you like me to fill out the form or would you rather do it? And when you fill out a form, try to get their email and put it on the bottom if possible. Are there any other voters in your house who need to re-enroll? Are there any unregistered voters in your house? Are you interested in volunteering with us? And I said re-enroll, but they may be enrolling for the first time too. So just look at the script and become familiar with it. You don't need to memorize it word for word. Listen carefully to any instructions that are given. You're going to have a single page map with a list number in the upper right corner, and I have it pointed out here. That's what's going to go into Minivan. And you're also going to probably have door hanger bags in case the person isn't home or to pass them to the person. So you're going to get a clipboard and possibly some rubber banded door hanger bags. Now, make sure that you pull the list up in Minivan before you leave the launch site. Make sure you know how to work it and get any extra help you need. And wear your lanyard with a name tag. Before you leave, make sure to record the canvas captain's phone number. And if you're not planning to return to the launch site, let the canvas captain know and then call them when you've completed the canvas so we know that everything went okay. Now, you're going to need to access your list in Minivan. So you're going to click on the app and then log in with your Action ID. It's going to ask you to use ngpvan.com to sign in. You're just going to hit continue. And then you're going to use your Action ID and log in. Once you've done that, you have the option to enter a list number. And so you tap on where it says enter a list number, and you're going to get two boxes. And you're going to have two portions to your list number. The first portion will go in the first box, and the second portion will go in the second box. The list numbers are only good for 30 days. So this one is good for 30 days. You won't be able to use it by the time you watch this probably. And in that case, you're just going to have to find an active list number. You will probably be provided one. Now, once you've entered your list number, you're going to have a notification that auto sync is on. So that means that as you update your Minivan, it's going to automatically sync. I do it manually anyway. And then it asks, are you doing a lit drop? If you are, and you drop literature, it's really easy. All you do is swipe right on your contact and it registers it as a lit drop, LD. So that's just letting you know that you can do that. And then you can hit continue. Now, sometimes we have a lot of people in apartments, so I wanted to show you this. You can pinch it out and expand the map, and then that'll spread the people out. You can see here that one building has 11 people, the next one 5, the next, 6, then 5, then 11. And so those are multifamily dwellings. And if you click on it, it'll tell you what the address is. Now you're going to find your starting address with something like Google Maps. So find it before you go so you know where your first house is. Now when you get there, this is what your map will look like. You're going to tap on the circle to find the address. The one I'm looking, the blue one there has 2 voters at the same address. And the address is at the bottom. And once you tap on the address, you can find the voter's name. So you keep getting new information by tapping on what you already have. So you can tap on the voter's name to find the script. If somebody comes to the door who is not the voter, you can go to that little person with the plus sign in the bottom right corner and use that to locate a different voter. Now, once you've gotten to the script, you can, if they're not there, you can click I couldn't reach this contact. And over on the right, you can see your different options. Usually you'll drop some literature on the doorknob and you would just click that, but there's all different things you can click. The script is below that, so you would read the script, and you've already familiarized yourself, so you probably don't have to read it word for word. If you couldn't reach them, you want to click Next Household in the bottom right-hand corner to move on to the next person. If you do reach them, there's always going to be a question embedded in the script. It's a survey question, so you need to answer that. And then tap that Next Household box to move on to the next address. There's sometimes more than one question, so make sure that you've looked. Now at the top, you see script. You can see next to script, there's another field called details. And it tells you more about that person, their polling location, their early voting location, date of birth, etc. If you click on notes, you can add a note. You probably would put an email in here. You always want to try to get an email address. We really, really want to get that information into Van. So you can add a note and save it if you want to. If you add a note, go ahead and make a note on the paper map that you have. Circle that address and say, I entered an email or whatever. So that gets back to the Canvas captain and they can look for that and enter it. If you click on history, you can look at all the previous times they've been contacted. It gives you a little bit of information. And in the top right corner is a little cloud with an arrow in it, and that's where you sync. That uploads the data into Van as you're going. So I just sync probably after every house so I don't forget. Now, when you're canvassing, you want to park on the street in front of the house. You don't want to block the driveway. You want to ask for the voter by name. Some people recommend that you call it out as you knock. That's up to you. Smile. Be really friendly. These people are going to be happy to see you if they're Democrats. Identify yourself and include any other groups you're in, like the Black Caucus or the Lehigh Democratic Club. And then go through the script and remember to leave them with a door hanger bag. And there's information in the bag, and that's if you've been given door hanger bags. Now, if they're underage, or there's a no trespassing sign, or there's any anger or disrespect, or you see something obvious that lets them, you know that they're Republicans, not Democrats, walk away. Don't knock. After the canvass, you're going to sign back in at the launch site, return all your materials, and then debrief and relax and enjoy yourself. And that's how you canvass.